your children, your grandchildren. They are the reason we all work so hard. The future of America depends on them.
Congresswoman Julia Letlow is jumping into the Senate race after President Donald Trump said she would have his endorsement. Our Dion Guillory sat down with her political analyst to break down this political shakeup.
As we see these candidates announcing their plans to jump into the race, we're going to bring in our political analyst, Jim Engster, to get his reaction to all of this. And Jim, a lot happening in the last couple of hours. Your reaction to all of the changing parts?
We've got a fluid race that took a big turn today, and Julia Letlow is a sitting congresswoman who's opposing the senior U.S. senator from her own party. And even though she says Bill Cassidy is doing a good job, obviously she believes she can do a better job. And the root of this is Bill Cassidy's vote 5 years ago to convict on impeachment Donald Trump, which would have sent the president to the showers forevermore. And that did not sit well with a lot of Republicans who vote in a closed primary this time. So Bill Cassidy needs to get a lot of those people who love Donald Trump a whole lot and are dismayed about the vote he made 5 years ago. And Julia Letlow is saying that she never would have made that vote. So it looks like it'll be a two-way race for the Republican nomination, but there are, as we know, some other elected officials who have to make a choice now whether to stay in or go away. And Bill Cassidy even has an option that we may talk about if he chooses to run as an independent.
Oh, that's an option. Didn't think about that one. That's why you do what you do. There is a part in the video where she talks about President Trump and leadership. We want to listen to that part right now and get your reaction on the other side.
A state as conservative as ours? We shouldn't have to wonder how our senator will vote when the pressure's on. Louisiana deserves conservative champions, leaders who will not flinch.
So in that, she mentions, you know, our state being conservative and how we need a leader who will not flinch. A jab at Cassidy there?
Oh, no doubt, but it's a jab she really doesn't have to take. Now, Donald Trump has won this state in 3 straight presidential elections by right around 60% of the votes. And in a Republican primary, that means more than 90% of the people who probably will vote in the primary on May 16th. And we're getting close, by the way. We're inside 4 months.
Right.
We're 16 weeks from Saturday from an election. But more than 90% of those people voted for Donald Trump, and they certainly wouldn't have voted as Bill Cassidy did in 2021 to convict him on impeachment.
And, you know, we mentioned before, is a long list of candidates here in this race, especially on the Republican side. And we're seeing some of the names here. You know, we've got Congresswoman Letlow, John Fleming, Sammy Wyatt, and Kathy Seiden.
Yeah.
We were talking about her before, and her story is kind of interesting.
Well, she's from St. Tammany, a council person, a younger person, the one most like Julia Letlow. But the question is whether Kathy Seiden and Julie Emerson, the lawmaker from the Lafayette area, and Blake Miguez will stay in the race. And now we have also another big office that is open with Julia Letlow leaving, and there's going to be a big battle to succeed her. And so some of these people could pivot. And you don't have to live within the district to be a candidate in Congress. And there's 6 opportunities, and this is the only one that's going to be open in this cycle. And we've seen situations before. I remember back in the day, Richard Baker lived in Cleo Fields' district, and Cleo Fields lived in Richard Baker's district. But so this is a chess game, but it's going to be a sprint rather than a marathon because qualifying starts February 11th, just a few days away. And then the race is May 16th. So, and then there'll be a runoff on June 27th, and then a general election in November. So it's still a fairly normal cycle, but there are these party primary, because we're in a closed primary, that make it a sense of urgency. And it would seem that it would be very hard for someone with limited name recognition to try to make a case now to either beat Cassidy or Letlow. The conventional wisdom is that they're most likely to be in a runoff. And then the Democrats have a primary, and they have some candidates, but so far no candidate who holds an office. But the Democrats could potentially have a shot at winning if Cassidy were to run as an independent in November, which he could do. And then essentially we would have 2 Republicans and a Democrat, and it could be a crapshoot as to which candidate wins. And some political insiders believe that's Cassidy's best option.
Yeah. Oh, The games continue.
They do.
All right, Jim. Thank you as always. So much insight.